turning on our live, so hopefully everybody can hear us, because we know we did that one live where no one heard us, and that was amazing.
Yeah, so let us know if we're live.
Let's know if you can hear us.
That too. That's what I meant. You know what I meant.
I know. It's all in good fun. Well, I see us, so we are physically live. And
Do we have sound?
do we have sound is the question.
Shannon?
I know.
I'm sure you're the one on.
Where's the boss? Where's the boss?
Where the boss at?
All right, just give me 1 second. So how was your week? I'll go with that one. How was your week?
It was good.
We literally just did one on Thursday. So.
Yeah. So since Thursday?
Yeah, so.
Well, I recovered from the gym. I went back today. I had another bachelorette party last night.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was very tired this morning, but the gym felt good.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't like hungover or anything.
Yeah.
But just tired. That's it. That's pretty much. I worked. How was your week?
I had a good one. I still alive. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing too crazy.
No.
I got through from Friday to Sunday. I'm alive.
Well, that's good.
It was a good weekend. I'll say that. I had a good weekend.
Good.
All right. Okay.
I take it that we have sound because nobody's saying that we don't.
I know. So hopefully somebody can just write. They can. Usually last time everyone kept saying they can hear us. So
yeah.
I'm going to go with they can hear us.
Right.
So this live is about fears and phobias and unrational maybe fears, like things that you're afraid of that makes zero sense.
I have a really good one for that one.
Oh, I can't wait for this one. Again, we are doing our podcast, which is on YouTube on Tuesdays, and we're live right now, which is Sunday at 6:00 on the Goofy Geek page. So we love if people could give us some, a shout out, a hi, if you want to say something. A walker walked by again. Looking.
Oh, look.
We have this. Thank you, Bosch. We have this walker that keeps walking by your window and literally looks
staring into my house,
into the window. It's
and my blinds don't close enough to like for them to not see us.
And hi, Becky. How are you today?
Oh, Kiki's watching. Hi, Kiki.
And Kiki. And
Shannon
says hi, Becky, ignoring us completely. So like I said, all right, we're 3 minutes into this, so all right, we got to hear some of these fears and phobias.
You want me to go first?
Well, we are going to talk about fears and phobias of all kinds, but let's go ahead if you want to
do my big one.
No, it's up to you. You can wait.
Well, no, we'll start with that one.
Okay.
Just because I think it's kind of funny, especially because of where I live.
Is this irrational?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I had this dream when I was little, and you're gonna laugh so hard.
Okay. I promise I won't laugh. Go ahead.
But I'm afraid of bridges, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
So I had this dream that my mom used to bring us to our aunt's house all the time, and she lives in Bristol, so it was the Mount Hope Bridge. And instead of 2 lanes, it was 4 lanes.
Okay.
But there were no like guardrails on the side.
Okay. Yeah,
and we're in my mom's minivan at the time, and we're on the right-hand lane, and we're driving super slow because there's no guards. And people are zooming. You're trying so hard not to laugh.
I am not. No. Because I got a bridge story for you too.
It's like super busy on the bridge. Everyone's zooming past us, and all of a sudden, like we fall off, and like I see the car, like in a movie, like where it like falls down. You can see the car fall down, and we're all hanging onto each other.
So this is
off
your
the
dream.
bridge. Yeah. So this is why I'm afraid of bridges.
Right. Okay.
And the first time I went over the Mount Hope Bridge, like driving, I literally white knuckled it. Stopped breathing. Sammy's like, you need to breathe.
But you have guardrails on the Mount Hope Bridge. Like in real life, there is.
Yes.
So they really.
Like I said, this is irrational. They would never build a bridge without.
I just want to say, Becky says spiders and clowns is a big no. All right, I can't say clowns because I'm a big the Goofy Geek boutique has Matt, and Matt's a clown, and I don't know. I love clowns, like
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not afraid of clowns. I know why people are because of the whole It or those crazy clowns that those kids. But I
Remember when
know.
we had a clown problem?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
What
but
was that?
it was kids. What happened was it was one legit. It's a group of the crazies, what I call the crazies, and
Yeah.
then you have kids thinking it's funny to do that to keep the crazy lore going, and it becomes crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and Shannon is silverfish, those bugs that we have. Yes, you know the little they look like centipedes, and they run around real fast.
It was like a million legs.
Like a million. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
That was nasty.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Okay,
not afraid
wait a
of
minute.
them. I
Let's
just don't
go
want
back.
them to touch
Let's
me.
get back to the bridge. Okay, so
sorry.
because we'll get off topic
Okay,
here.
okay.
Okay, so as you know, I rode horses when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I rode in, and I know people who live in other places won't know where I'm talking about, but I live in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. So the barn I rode at was in North Kingston. So we had to go over the Mount. I had to go over the
Newport.
Pell. Well.
Yeah.
Newport Bridge, Pell Bridge, and go over the Jamestown. And the Jamestown was the old Jamestown Bridge. Do you remember that one with the grates on top? No, you were too little. I know you
No,
were too little.
yeah.
But on top, at the very top, was grates. So you could see right into the water.
Hell no. No.
So I went with a
No.
friend. And he wanted to come see me ride. And so he was like, I'm going with you. Well, there was traffic on the Jamestown Bridge, so you had to sit on it.
Oh no.
And
I'm
it
out.
moved.
No.
Because it moved because it's a two lane.
it's
And he looked down and could see water, and he freaked out. My mom was driving because we were in 8th grade. He was trying to get out of the car. We had to put the child locks on.
Oh my god.
And like he started freaking out. Really,
Oh my
I won't
God.
say his name because I don't want to embarrass him. Because I actually
Yeah.
really don't like him anymore, so I probably would Steve Transu. And
Nice.
and he freaked out hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore. He freaked out so bad over the bridge. I don't. Okay. So wait a minute. So you said the Mount Hope because it had no guardrails, but it has guardrails.
Yes. But no, it's a Mount Hope because I was going to my aunt's house. She lives in Warren.
Well, Mount Hope, I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
that has guardrails.
I understand that.
So you still because the
and it was also 4 lanes now.
I know.
So it's not
It doesn't
that
even
bridge.
matter. It
Right.
just doesn't matter. It's just
It's mostly
the
that bridge,
dream.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say something though. I drive over bridges, and the first thing I do as soon as I see the bridge is, what would I do if it collapsed? Like I think to myself,
Right.
I'll hit the button. I will brace myself. Like I automatically when I drive over, I think that way.
Mm-hmm. I don't like being under bridges either. Because I think they're just going to fall on top of me.
I can't. You don't like being under bridges?
No.
Okay.
And I don't like the
So-
Mount Hope Bridge because there's always construction on it, and you always
So,
get
but
stuck
this
on
is
it,
any
and you can
bridge.
just feel it.
But this is any
Right.
bridge. Yeah, but this
Yeah.
is any bridge. So
This
if
is any bridge.
we could be in New York City, or
Yeah.
we could be in.
Yeah,
in
and I have a panic attack.
You have a panic attack.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're talking about
I-
local stuff to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
But if like people take a second and be like, you're going over a bridge,
Yeah.
and most bridges sway for obvious reasons. That's what
Right.
makes it not destroy. Fall all apart.
Right.
Yeah, I have. Oh gosh, I have fears, but they're not crazy. Like I don't know. I keep them in check.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I have white knuckled over Mount Hope Bridge, and you know why? Because I was driving and the moon looked so pretty. I kept looking up at it and like, oh my gosh, I'm driving.
Yeah.
Like, and oh my god, that's so pretty. Oh my god, because it was a pink color.
Mhm.
And I got freaked out because I kept looking up and not
Oh,
driving.
yeah.
But it was because I knew I was doing something I shouldn't have. Like I was like,
You
well,
were getting distracted.
right.
Yeah.
And I started to panic because for some reason I couldn't stop looking at the moon because the way my driving goes, the highway, I knew that was the best way I could see it. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It was as soon as I turned the corner where I was living, I'm not going to be lined up to the moon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to miss this moon. So, I mean, I cannot think of something.
I've also gone over that bridge with, like, the first time I went over with Kelsey, we like took the back roads home, and we got stuck on the bridge, and Kelsey like really learned my first like panic attack with her. Like we had a list of things, so I'm like
Are
crossing
you
off the
are you
list.
driving them?
No, Kelsey is.
So that's so you're not even driving.
I'm not
and
even
you go-
driving. I'm
And you're
freaking out.
panic.
Yeah.
So you can't even rest.
I drive over this bridge every day, guys. and I have a
Yes,
panic
yes, you do.
attack
I'm
every
like,
day.
because you work
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
I can't leave the island without a bridge.
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
Like, this is just normal behavior, but
But
I literally had a panic attack, and I'm like trying to like distract myself and like trying to tell her story, and like nothing's coming up, and I start singing to the words of like the song's playing, and it's not helping. So I'm like scribbling on this piece of paper. I had the piece of paper for a very long time. I threw it away, but like
right.
it was like
your
one of those like
go-to blanket type of moments.
Yeah.
Not.
I was trying to like calm myself down. She's like laughing, but also trying to calm me down. It's like, ooh.
I guess I have fears. I don't want to make it like I don't have fears,
Mhm.
but I always try to like overcome, rationalize it and bring myself back down.
Mhm.
Like this happened quite a few years ago. I was doing a project and outside, and I got caught between something,
Mhm.
so I couldn't move my arms, or like I basically got stuck in a tight area,
Yeah.
and I panicked.
Mhm.
And then I basically said to myself, okay, I need to breathe.
Mhm.
I need to calm down. Think, like I kind of like do that whole like, I'm going to freak out. No, it's not going to get me anywhere. And
Yeah.
I actually got myself out. But
Mhm.
I always think to myself, I don't know what's in my brain that does that. Like makes me say, okay, because I do freak out. I mean, I
Mhm.
know I do because I get sweaty, I get hot, I get
Yeah.
like, this is the end, da 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 da. And then I kind of go, okay, I can do this. Just
Mhm.
like, I know I'm afraid of heights, but yet I've gone up high ladders. When my dad's like, "Hey, can you go up here and change the light?" I'm like, "No." And then I'm next thing you know,
Yeah,
I'm on the
you're on the
ladder,
ladder, yeah.
going, thinking to myself, if I fall, how would I fall? Like I'm one of those
Yeah.
people. As soon as I'm in an area of life that I don't like, I
Mhm.
am sitting there thinking to myself, "What am I going to do to change? Like, what? Okay, if I fall, what am I going to do? What would I grab onto? Okay, don't grab this. This would rip your arm. Don't do. Like you're better off
Yeah.
just falling this way. Doesn't mean it'll do, but in my head, I'm always that person, and I always
Mhm.
feel like because I think that way, when things do go bad for me, I'm already 10 steps ahead because I've thought everything out.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
I just panic. I don't know how to stop myself from panicking.
Right,
I
right,
calm
right.
myself down. I don't know how to do that.
It's horrible because
I can do it when I'm not panicking. Like I know like what to do. It's
Right.
just in that moment I can't bring myself down.
And I keep telling people like I do this or I do that or I do this. Like for instance, we're laughing about the silverfish thing. I opened the fridge last couple nights ago, and this bug came flying out. And I don't like bugs.
Mhm.
Okay, see, this is the question. I don't like bugs, but I don't know if I'm scared of like I have a phobia of bugs.
I feel the same way.
But like the bug landed on me,
right.
and the first instinct was to smack it. I smacked it so hard I left my bruise on my leg because I smacked it so hard, and I was like, oh
my
for like,
God.
but I don't think it was like, oh, I'm afraid. It was just I don't want a bug on me.
Yeah.
Like I don't want something crawling.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like we have spiders everywhere around here, and
Right.
those silverfish
Right,
things
right,
or
right.
whatever. Kelsey would like freak out, and she's like, "Can you kill it? Go kill the bug." Like I'll let the bug free, but
Right.
or unless it's like the silverfish ones, then I'm like, "Yeah, you're dead. Sorry."
Yeah, like like
But
when it
spiders,
comes
I
to
let go.
there are things that when it comes to those things, it's me or it. Like,
Yeah.
and it's amazing what I can do.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
and I will say there are some things I don't like. Like I don't want bugs. Like I always seem to have that one spider or that one thing that's happening in the shower when you're the most like vulnerable.
Like, oh my God, you're looking at me naked?
Like, it's not even naked. It's
Yeah.
like wherever you land on me,
Right.
I'm not protected by anything
Yeah.
except like you're
Yeah.
going to touch me.
Right.
So I'm like, usually my attitude is I'm under the water. Come get me because you are
Oh, I
not going
fling
to
water at it.
Yeah, I've done that too. I've done
Like-
the whole cupping of the hands
Right.
or the okay, this is almost done with shampoo. Let me use the rest of it, and then it becomes a squirt gun, right? And then you're like,
I've never
it's-
done that part.
Oh, I've done the
That's
squirt gun,
hilarious.
like right in the corner of the house. You're like, yeah, there you go.
I used to have like the detachable shower heads, and I would
Oh,
fling
you-
it up
oh,
that
yeah,
way.
well,
But now
that's-
mine doesn't. So
that's
now I
even
have
better.
to cup the hands.
That's
and throw
even
water
better.
at it.
And so Shannon says, who's laughing about the silverfish? Silverfish I sure wasn't. No, she woke me up at 3:00 in the morning and asked me to walk her to the bathroom because she had woke up and saw a silverfish. She said dancing in the middle of the hallway, so she couldn't walk into the bathroom.
It was dancing?
It was going in a circle,
Wow.
she said.
Oh.
So I said dancing.
Oh, so it was breakdancing.
So, and I had to walk with her into the bathroom because I was like, and of course, this is the worst thing about her silverfish stories. Niles, there's a huge silverfish. I am not going in there. I will go in there. There is nothing in there.
Yep.
And you know, because she turned on the light, it was like
It was
there,
yeah.
and then it ran off.
Right.
And then by the time she gets me, it's sitting around the corner going, ha ha.
Right? Loser.
She says it was guarding the bathroom door. See?
I'm sure it was. Did it
Yes.
bring security? Some
Yes.
backup?
Again, if you want to be part of this conversation, I'm going to tell you, please write to us.
Yeah.
Please post stuff because
Post
we have
your fears.
your fears and stuff.
Irrational or rational.
Yes,
or...
because we've talked about this before. We talked about, I was watching, I listened to a sports channel, and they were talking about there were two people in the same office that have the fear of swimming in the pool, that there could be a shark.
Yep.
So they jump in, swim as fast as they can, and get out because there could be a shark in there. But they know a shark can't live in chlorine water, but their brain
Right.
just says yes. So do you have any
See,
of those craziness?
I just automatically assume I'm going to drown.
And I'm
if
not
I
saying-
can't touch the bottom.
Me too.
All right.
Oh my gosh. My feet always have to touch the bottom.
Well, unless I'm like swimming, but like I can't. I have the hardest time jumping into like the deep end.
Right.
I'm
I
all right,
need
here
to-
we go.
I need to touch something
Here we
and then
go.
bounce right back up.
But I'm also afraid, like, you know, like the in-ground ones where it's like texturized
Oh,
on the
yeah,
bottom?
yeah.
I'm afraid I'm going to cut my legs up because it will happen.
What do you mean cut? Oh, you mean
Like if I land on
like
it.
ta-
Because
I
it's
gotcha.
concrete
Oh
and
yeah,
your skin's there.
Right,
so,
right, yeah.
So, like, I don't
I
want
know what you're
that
talking
either.
about. Oh yeah.
So I'm like,
No, this actually is true story though. I'm talking about fear. I'm not a big swimmer, so my friend had a pool, and for some reason, I don't want to. Actually, I can't not say this girl's name because I think it was at her house. I'm not sure though, but she's actually married to a very famous person around here locally, a sports announcer, and
As in,
no, I really can't. So I believe her pool was one of those pools where it's like shallow, cliff.
oh, yeah.
And
Those are the worst.
Those are the worst because I'm used to one of those. I'm one of those people like I walk and I do like that toe out, like that 1 foot out, like
Yep.
the
top one?
the
Yeah.
slope is coming. So
Yep.
when I hit the slope, this is as far as I'm going to go. Like,
Yep.
because I want to joke around and I'm one of those guys like I want to joke around. I don't want to be swimming.
Yeah.
Right. And so I want to be joking around and I want to be standing because, wrestling in the water or we used to do chicken fights and stuff like that. So you're like, okay, that's great. But literally I was at her house and I was like, walk. It was an indoor pool. I remember this so clear. It was nice and warm and everything. And I remember walking and then it was like, whoo, and I remember my whole body go like right under
Right.
and me grabbing onto like whatever and pull off. But I have a real fear of water. I do have a fear of deep water. So I don't know what that's called, but I do because I fell off of 40 steps.
Into a pool?
No.
Oh.
Do you obviously in Newport there's a place called 40 Steps. So what happens is you walk down 40 steps and then when you get to the bottom of the 40 steps, that's why it's called 40 steps. There's a little groove and then you can see a waterfall. Have you ever seen the waterfall there? Like you have to walk all the way
No,
down.
That doesn't sound like anything I'd want to do.
I was in 8th grade and I shouldn't have been in Newport. I
Because
rode
you know
my
what
bike.
happens when you walk down those 40 steps? You got to walk back up those 40 steps.
I was in 8th
Does
grade.
this
I
look
wasn't
like a body that wants to do that.
I wasn't what I am now. I was much skinnier. And I walked down, and I was wearing Vans were brand new at the time.
I love Vans.
I mean, me too.
Well, I'm wearing those at my wedding.
My feet don't fit in them like they used to. I feel like I got Freddie Flintstone feet now. Like they flattened out. They've become a mess. It's a big mess. That's why I wear these New Balance crap things. No, I like these shoes. So
Dad shoes.
literally hit wet rock and slid right into the water,
Ooh.
which, if you know, is kind of like a little cliff, and the tide is dragging me out, so I'm holding onto the rock, and it's like my legs are getting lifted up and then the waves crash me back in, and I'm all getting ripped up. And a reporter came down, gave me his like a strap, I believe, to his bag, got me up, and I ran because I wasn't supposed to be there. And I was like, I'm going in trouble. I was all ripped up. My clothes were like, I was a wreck. And since then, I'm not afraid of water, but I'm not big into deep. Like, I've been to your dad's pool. Well, when your dad had the pool, like I was always in there. Like, you would never know.
Well, it's also 4.5 feet.
Right. That's even though your dad I almost drowned. Your dad was joking around with me and clipped my legs, and I was like, the second he clipped my legs to joke with me, you know, like I was going, hey, like breathing out. So right when I hit the water, like I couldn't breathe in. Oh, it was a big. I got up and I was like, your dad that grabbed me. So you were right. I'm like coughing water out my nose and my mouth, God. And he's like, sorry, dude, it was meant to be funny. And I'm like, you almost killed me.
So funny, I almost died.
He's like, you almost killed me. Okay.
But no, I have another thing about water too.
Yeah?
If I'm underwater, I'm also freaked out that there's something above me and I won't be able to get back up.
No.
Like floaties, I hate being in the pool with floaties.
Oh no.
Unless I'm on top of the floaties.
I am the literal king of swimming underwater. If I could swim, if I could breathe, if I had like a scuba and I could go from one side to the other, I love being underwater. But the only problem is like my lung capacity is like
0.
Like I hit the water and my lungs like we need air.
Same.
It's like we need water, and I have to like come back up. If I could, because everyone's like, "Oh, you do a good job swimming underwater." I'm like, "Yeah, just above water, I can't." Like I can't swim. Like I can't swim above water. Like like water level.
Yeah.
Not above the water.
Yeah.
I'm not flying.
But yeah, I will go underwater, and if I'm gonna come up, I put my hand up to make sure there's nothing in my way.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not like that.
If I know there's floaties in the pool. If there's no floaties
in the pool. Really? But the floaty's going to keep you down? I mean, it's going to be like...
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I mean...
No. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, wow, this one's a heavy one. I can't get this one off of me.
I don't know. Just afraid. So, like I said, it's one of those irrational fears.
Yeah, that is. But I think of like all my fears of like... I don't say I'm like, I do have one irrational. I don't, and not anymore because I talked about my lights. But I used to have this thing where I used to turn off the light in my basement, and I would have to walk like so many steps, almost the whole thing, in the dark, and then hit the other light. Yeah. Now, when I hit the light, there's still light as I walk up, so there's no like darkness. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, but I do have one. Okay, this is my... I don't know if you want to call this irrational. I think it's rational, but it is... Nah, it's not rational. I have a problem is I always think when I'm sleeping, someone's standing over me. Especially when I sleep alone. When I sleep in by myself, I can't sleep very good because I literally feel someone's watching me. And then I must not sleep heavy because then I hear noise, but it's me. Because I've been with someone, I go, did you hear that? Yeah, you just made a noise. And I was like, oh, so I made a noise. Like, but I hear it, and I think it's someone else. Yep. That's the other thing is, too, if the AC, and this is all when I'm by myself, someone's with me, when the boss is with me, I'm fine. But if I'm sleeping for some strange reason by myself, I swear I hear voices at night.
You might be haunted.
Except that one night we did. Both of us.
We're not going to talk about it. Nope, we're not talking about it.
Shannon.
No, we're not talking about it.
Shannon.
No.
It was 2 o'clock in the morning.
No. All done. It's too late to be talking about this.
I think, to be honest with you, I think there were kids walking because I live on the main road.
Yeah.
But like at 2 o'clock in the morning, we heard da 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 da. And I'm like, she's like, I heard it that time. I was like, I'm not crazy.
When I'm home alone, at night, like if Kelsey sleeps away or something. Yeah. The second I get home, the alarm goes on, and the second I leave, like I turn the alarm back on. But like, as long as I'm here by myself at night, the alarm's on because I'm afraid somebody's gonna. I mean, they would get me right back, but I'm afraid somebody's gonna come in here.
Shannon wrote, "You are crazy."
Yes.
I am crazy. When I was your age, I was the opposite though. See,
Oh,
I
no.
left my doors unlocked. I was
Oh,
fearless
no.
when
Everything's
I was younger.
locked up. The
Now-
windows don't open.
When I was
No.
in my like easily when I was like because I had bought my house when I was 20. It's 3 days before my 22nd birthday.
Mhm.
So I was basically 22 when I moved in. I left the door unlocked. I didn't have any fears of anything. Like I could care less. And then I think it changed when I had a family, and then it became like, well, something could happen to them, and then now I'm that way. Like I'm like a little old lady. I'm like, oh, gotta make sure all the doors are locked,
Yeah.
especially after stuff I hear. I'm like,
Right.
I don't know. And of course I believe in all that stuff. That doesn't help me either.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in ghosts and stuff. I don't know if you
I
do.
believe in them too.
I don't know.
And I don't. That's why I said we're not talking about it.
All right, guys. Please make sure you guys. I know the podcast. Well, at podcast, you guys can write fears underneath in the
the YouTube
comments and
comments.
stuff,
Yep.
right? And guys, please.
I'll respond to him. We'll respond to him. We talk about it the next.
I got
episode.
some crazy fears. Like I didn't write down the proper names because some of these are extremely hard to pronounce. So there is, but this is all scientifically found diseases, like legit. Like this isn't just one person. These are a group of people that
Right.
actually have this.
Yep.
There are people out there that have the fear of peanut butter sticking to their roof of their mouths. They have the fear of that. Oh my gosh, you have that?
No.
Oh, you had that look like. I'm like, really? Because I seen you eat peanut butter, and I didn't
Oh
see.
my god, I'll eat peanut butter by the canful.
I
Like,
know.
I don't care.
Spoon. I'm a crunchy man, but
You know, we were at Target today and we passed the peanut butter aisle. They make squeeze ones now.
Yes, I know.
I said
Jif,
to Sam,
Jif,
yeah.
squeeze. Yes.
I said I would.
No,
just
Skippy. It's Skippy squeeze, right?
Whatever. No, I think it's Jif.
Oh, is it Jif?
I was like, I would just squeeze that straight into
Yeah.
my mouth. It wouldn't even make it to bread.
But I like crunchy, so it's never gonna be crunchy.
Ew.
So I love crunchy.
No, if I want a handful of nuts, I would have a handful of nuts. I want
Nah.
peanut butter.
I'm
I'm
have a sip
sorry.
of my drink.
Talon, when he was little, used to talk to a ghost. John, once upon a time, lived in our head. No, we're
Okay.
not talking about that either.
No, okay, no. Seriously, I got a great story. My very first girlfriend. We dated all the way through high school. A little bit in middle school, all the way through high school.
Mhm.
Her sister, literally sat down and was describing a Revolutionary War soldier, like colonial, and went through the whole outfit. And we looked it up, and it looked like it was exactly what she described. And she was like 4, 5, like
don't
some
like that.
crazy, like
Mm.
yeah. That's why I believe.
Mhm.
No,
No,
this
I
is
believe
why
that
I
too.
believe because
I believe in mediums too. Like I believe like
yes, I believe in some of the stuff. I mean, I know
Not every
not
medium,
everyone out
but-
there, but there's a lot that I do.
Yeah.
But so that was the first one. So I actually wrote down. All right, just for this, I probably should start off with this. But there are 3 different types of fears. There are social phobias, which means like you don't want to go out in public speaking, like just
Mhm.
that type
I
of
hate
stuff.
public speaking. Here I am on a podcast.
Yeah.
But here's the difference.
This is
I don't think about the people in the phone. I just think about you.
right.
But if I put me in front of a crowd, I shut down.
Really, I did theater in high school, so I know I'm
Have you ever
fearless.
heard my dad speak
No.
publicly?
No. Never. No.
And
No.
it's the worst.
I
I love you, Dad.
I
but
only
it's
know
the
that
worst.
I only have the one story with your dad, and he told me to do everything I can, so he didn't have to do the oral report. I only have that one story about your dad. And the funniest thing is, he's in a band. Like I never got that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if he
it's
still
different.
is, but
Yeah.
but I don't think he sings. I think that's a trick. He just
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah.
He
He sings in front of us, but not like.
Yeah.
I don't know if
yeah.
he's. I've never been to like a concert of his.
Oh yeah, you never. Oh,
Mm.
he used to do a lot of that in high school when like the band, like the
I remember
wore
going
the
to
bands
like
and-
his practices and stuff a couple times.
Yeah, but I remember him like in high school playing in the band,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I being friends with your dad, I felt like the guitar, the bass, the
Mhm.
drums were always right next to him somehow, and
yeah.
he would always be like, "Hey, watch, and your dad is amazing with the whole. I can listen to anything and play it back like 3 seconds later. I'm like, what?
I can
the
do that too.
I hate you people.
I didn't think I had taught myself how to play stuff.
Yeah, I know. Remember you telling that in the very first podcast.
I can do that with like piano too. Like I play by ear.
I can't. Like
I can read music too.
I've sat down with piano. My buddy had a piano, and he's like, "Yep, anytime." And I literally was like playing for like 3 hours, and it still sounded like
can't play the 3 notes. Can't play hot cross buns on there.
It was just like, "Ooh, this sounds good." Ding, 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 ding.
And it's like any musical player is like, "Oh my god."
Let's just say agoraphobias, and it's about anything like being outside, any outside fears.
Like
which is like
nature?
outside, like environment type of stuff. Like, and then there is Pacific phobia. Specific. I can't even say it. Like I'm messing up.
I keep saying Pacific.
Yeah, like it's a
ocean.
P, and it's and that's like particular items, like spiders, like like something like legit, and. That is broken up into 4 which is natural, like trees and stuff, and then there's animals such as like spiders, and then there's medical.
That's me.
Like doctors and stuff. Are you afraid of doctors?
Well, I'm not afraid of doctors, but I do have PTSD from doctors because one of them almost killed me, but. Or almost let me die. Right. But I'm also like, if you start talking about blood, I'll pass out. If you start like naming stuff inside your body, like, and I can visually picture it, I'm out.
So you're not watching Doctor Show, like you're not watching like Grey's Anatomy or anything like that.
Sorry, Shannon.
And
you're gonna have to leave me out with that.
And then the other one is situations, like situations where like going over a bridge, like stuff like that, like things that you put yourself into, like have fears. And that's the different fears that we have that are medically acknowledged. Number 2 on my list is, which I am not, and I think I am only that way because I'm going to show what I know a lot of people who don't know, but I actually have an old school flip phone. If you are part of the Goofy Geek Boutique, you've seen that I've shown it a few times. People don't believe it. They're like, yeah, right. And then all of a sudden they're like,
what is that dinosaur?
So the
not talking about the phone.
The second fear is is a major one is being having a fear being without your phone.
I'm fine.
I know I could literally leave my phone. I think the only time, you know what? I'm going to be honest. The only time I feel uncomfortable of not having my phone right now in my life is when I'm driving.
I feel the same way because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, like if I break down, like
an old lady could back into you.
Okay, for people who don't,
if
you missed that thing, you haven't listened to our podcast. Old lady back into me. I don't even remember wherever long ago.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so that was in a podcast. You are
like there have been times. Okay, actually, a couple months ago, I went and got gas.
Yep.
And then I drove away. I looked at my gas gauge mid-drive. I looked at Sam. I looked at my gas gauge. I said, "Did I put gas in my car? Because it didn't move." Okay. Like it still said I was out of gas.
Was the gas pump still connected?
No, I drove away. I was like. But like, where did it go? Where did I put it in? Like I don't know.
Okay.
And then I realized it was broken.
So
I pulled over.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It just like didn't reset because it's digital. So it didn't,
it's digital. Okay. Yeah. All
right. It didn't reset. Whatever. Right. I was like, what?
I actually happened to a buddy that when he put, this is an older car though, when he put the thing in. He pumped the gas, and then when he didn't lock it right, the cap and the air pressure didn't, because that actually when you close it does matter. Yeah. And it said there was less gas in there because of it wouldn't let the because there's a floating thing in there. Yeah. And it wouldn't let the float.
Mine was stuck at the bottom.
Right. Yeah. It's stuck on the bottom. Right.
My dad's like, just drive around. I think it's stuck.
He's like, just hit it.
Pretty much.
Have old lady back up into you.
Yeah. So I drove around like for the rest of the day and then like gradually moved, but it took a long time. It took like a week for it to fix itself. Yeah. But my something else was wrong with it too. So.
You don't have that old of a car.
I know, so that's why it was annoying.
I know.
I paid like $1,000.
Again, guys, if you want to write your fears, I mean, we've already had people write down. Please join. Please write down, because some of these fears. No, we're not. We're all laughing because we all have fears that I think we all have.
We're also laughing is like one of those.
Oh, it's a feel good thing for me. Like, I can laugh at myself easily.
Well,
1,000
like
times.
when I'm uncomfortable, I laugh.
Me too.
So like that's
I
like
know.
I'm not laughing at you. Like I'm just.
I just want to tell you. Let's make it real clear here. The boss, Shannon, absolutely despises me because when I'm in deep doo-doo, I just start laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Or I get scared, I start to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. I have a great Halloween story. I'll wait for the Halloween one because I got a great story to tell you on our first date. Shannon and I, first date.
Okay.
You want to know, don't you?
I guess I can
Yeah.
wait. What are we?
Oh, no.
Are we gonna have a Halloween special? Like,
Yeah.
Are we waiting for that?
No, yeah, I guess we're not. Our very first date, she took me to a haunted house.
Oh hell no! Sorry.
Right, she
Would've
went to a
broken
haunted
up.
house.
Sorry, Shannon. Do you want to bring me there? Absolutely not. You're on your own.
No. When I tell this story, you're going to be like, this is the best date ever. I'll tell you right now, guys. If I was Shannon, I'd break up with me after what I did. This is horrible. So we go into the haunted house, and she's like, "Do you like haunted houses?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I like haunted. Like I'm okay with them. I usually find them kind of boring, to be honest. Like I get scared and I start to laugh, and then once I start laughing, I can't get scared after that.
Yeah.
Like I'm all done."
Yeah.
And so we walk into this room. So picture it's a regular square room, and there is this long couch, but it's real short. Like it's one of those old school couches where like a fainting couch, you know where you can easily fall on it. Yeah. And on this, and then what happens is when the door opens, the person that's going to scare you is behind the door, if you will, how it opens. So, but then when the door opens, there's not much room to really walk because of the couch.
Yeah.
Well, the I don't even know what jumped out because all I saw was Shannon's shin hit the couch and she went face first into the couch, and then her legs were kicking up in the air because she.
Aww.
I tried to help, but she's so much taller than me. I couldn't get a good I laughed the whole time. People would put chainsaws on me. I was like, "You missed it." I told every person that we were walking about her.
Shannon.
Yeah. Look, the bruise says it wasn't funny. Yeah, she was all bruised on her shit. I mean, she hit this thing so hard and boom, right down. And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And of course, I'm trying to pull her up, and of course, I'm done.
But you're laughing so hard, you got no strength.
I am crying. It's our first date, okay?
Yeah.
I'm being a total douchebag because I should totally be like, "Oh my God, you okay?" No, not me. Funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Things are jumping out at me, and I'm like, "Dude, you missed the funniest thing." People were getting annoyed because I was literally
laughing.
like, stop. Right. I gotta tell you something.
Right.
The first room. You know where the couch is?
That was the first room?
Yeah.
The first thing you said.
So the whole thing is me laughing. And Shannon, poor Shannon, I feel so bad. Like, to this day, I can't. Every time I talk about it, look, I get all sweaty because it's the funniest thing.
Oh my
and
God.
I just tell you what a good sport she was because she laughed too. We got to the very end and she was laughing. She was.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, well, we're still together. Well, it's almost 8 years later, but that was literally our first, proper date. We had been talking on the phone for whatever, like a proper date. And we literally, she hit that couch, her face, and all I could tell you is this one clown that I stopped. I was like, no, dude. You know that couch in the front there? And he's like, yeah. And I had to tell the whole story again. And Shannon's like, let's go. And I'm like, no, this guy's got to hear this story.
Right.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't stop laughing. It was so, she was a good sport. Totally good sport. I don't
Poor
even
thing.
know what scared us either, because as soon as she fell into that couch, I couldn't I can't even tell you the rest of the thing. I
Right.
can't even
You're
tell you
just,
what
like,
happened.
Crying,
All I
laughing
know
the
is
whole
I know I
time.
went through some woods, and I was just people kept asking what was wrong with me because I was literally walking, like laughing the whole. I couldn't stop. I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Tears were coming down my eyes, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why. Because she said she was like, "Oh, I don't really care for haunted houses," And then
Right.
here I am like laughing through the whole thing.
Mhm.
I'm really bad at that. And as soon as the one horrible thing happens or funny thing in those spots,
That's
it's
it.
like it
Yeah.
shines. And then I could literally be chased by a mass murderer. And if he tripped and fell in front of me, I'd be like, that is the funniest thing I've
Right.
ever. And I'd just be laughing. He'd be killing me. And I'd be
Right.
like laughing.
This is the
galore.
best way to go.
Yeah. I would literally do that. Like,
Right.
I don't
I've
know.
been through 2 haunted house, but they were like put on by people I know, so it wasn't like scary.
Yeah.
you know. But like I would never go to like one of those that you have to pay for. Like no thanks.
I can't, because all it takes is that one guy who pops out and their mask falls off, like it,
Right.
like normal stuff, and then I can't stop laughing. Like she talks about, you want to go to another one? I'm like, yeah, okay. I was like, I'm going to laugh through the whole thing. Like
Right.
I already know it,
Right.
like,
You're just gonna think back to the
because
first
I
date.
already like I do.
Remember when you fell on this couch? You're gonna walk into that room. It's gonna be the same setup. You're
If-
gonna
no.
walk in.
I'll tell you right now. So help me God, if we ever go back to that, I would be like, nope, I'm done, I'm out. I'd be
Right.
like,
I gotta turn around. Sorry, guys.
I
You
sit
can
on
have
the
my
cou-
money still.
I just
I
sit
got
on the
it.
couch and laugh and tell everyone that walked through the door, hey, I got a story for you.
Right.
No,
I know it's supposed to be scary, but here's a funny joke.
it's a funny story. It's true,
Right.
so you know it's funny. All right.
Right.
There are people who have fears of numbers. Now, the number game is different. It can be numbers like the actual number, like if they don't like the number 3. So if 3
Mhm.
comes up, they get scared of it. There's 3 people in the room, they get scared of it. Like the
Really?
numbers itself. Yes.
I don't like odd numbers.
And I can't imagine, like, I'm trying to be fair about this. No, I'm like, all kidding aside, I know we're laughing, but all kidding aside, I can't imagine having a phobia that would control my life like that.
You're surrounded by that.
Yeah.
By numbers.
Like numbers.
Like, what do you do when you have to call someone?
Right. Like,
And there's like a number 3 in there. Like, how does that work?
that's why I keep, like, and of course you read these things and they don't,
I guess everyone has a different degree to it too.
right.
But
That's what I'm talking about. Because some of these, there's one, hold on, which me and Kelsey both have a fear of, but it's not a fear. I just know I don't like it.
Is it spiders?
No. Okay. If you're really gonna make me,
No. We'll wait.
we'll wait. Okay.
That's
Well,
fine.
Picture this one. There's I love haunted house because they really scare me. Yes.
Except for that one.
No. She actually jumped a lot. Like
Oh.
that was the trick. She fell over the couch because she was truly scared of what jumped
Mm-hmm.
out. That's
Shannon, do you remember what jumped out at you?
Nope, I don't. I can't even tell you.
Is your
I-
name Shannon?
No, I mean I can't even.
I know. I asked
She
Shannon.
could literally tell me. She could say right now, it was Barney, and I'd probably be like, okay, I believe it. I don't remember.
Pretty scary guy.
Well, anything that jumps out is
Right.
scary, I think.
Yeah.
There's people who have fear of money. These are real phobias. I don't have
Like what kind?
I don't have the actual names because I know some of them I would butcher
Yeah.
them for pronouncing here, but
Like, what's the fear of money? Like, just itself, or like
itself,
like,
it's
losing money? Like,
Yes, it's all that. Like, because see, what happens is when I say fear of money, it can be all of that. It's a fear of money. It's fear of losing money. It's not having enough money. It could be the actual fear of like a nickel. It can be a
well,
fear.
then I kind of have that because I'm afraid to let my bank account get to a certain level before. Like, I don't know. Like, I will never.
Wait a minute. Are you conscious of it or are you afraid of it?
I'm afraid to let my bank
Like if
account
you're
get lower.
if you let's just say it's $200 and if you went to 199, are you like having a phobia over like
I'm like having a mental breakdown.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you clearly have a fear of money to
Mhm.
some degree.
Mhm.
I think we all do.
Like, I know there's nothing I could do about it unless I like put money in there.
Right.
But
But you'll be I would
I'll
assume
be thinking about it until
you'll be
it's,
like,
like
okay.
back up to that 200.
Right. And then you'll be like, hey, I need to be back at
Mhm.
200. I'm not buying anything until it's
Yes.
back there. Yeah. There's
Yes.
no- some of these things aren't like for some of the things like again I when I read them I go I understand the fear. She says, by the way, I don't even remember She probably can just remember me being a jerk during this because
Probably.
I was such a jerk. I laughed so like our first. I clearly went home.
I probably would have done the same thing that
I
you did.
went home thinking I would never see Shannon again.
Yeah.
Like that was going to be the last time I talked to her because I the next day I had to tell everybody. I had to tell everybody.
Poor Shannon.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. I always think it comes around. Like something bad will happen to me,
Mhm.
and then someone will tell a story, and then half the time when something happens to me, I tell the story because I
Right.
think it's hilarious
Right.
that something happened dumb to me. Are you
Wait,
ready
what's
for
the
this
next
one? The fear of yellow. Do you know that's the only color that I found was the fear of yellow? I'm not
Really?
saying there wasn't, but on the list of
What about it is scary? Like,
it's
like what are they
yellow.
afraid of?
Yellow, like
I get
yellow,
that, but like,
anything. Like they think it's bad luck or it's like they
Mhm.
shouldn't. A lot of these things are like kind of like a
Mhm.
like you have a choice. Don't take the yellow. It's
Mhm.
going to take you. It's going to bring you bad luck. Don't do this. Or
Mhm.
oh, don't wear that yellow shirt. Bad luck. Or, like that type of phobias. Or
Oh.
we're not talking about. Not every fear is you
Like
on the ground
scared,
having
yeah.
a meltdown.
Yeah.
You know, there are fears of just walking down and saying, "No, I'm not doing this."
Mhm.
The fear of bathing. Do you know? But I
But like
I
a,
do
like
have
a bath or like a shower.
any type of water and soap and cleaning off the thing.
Hmm.
But I just want you to know that this fear of bathing was actually a very big thing during the plague, the black plague. A lot
I
of
can
people
understand
felt
that.
that if you bathe and you washed, that it was like unhealthy
Mhm.
because of taking off your oils and your natural things that were supposed to defend you
Mhm.
off of those things. Because that's
I
how
can see
people
that.
think. Like an animal doesn't
Yeah.
bathe.
Yeah.
Like a dog, like if a wild wolf, it goes in the water, but not every single day it walks to the water and has a bath and then
Mhm.
comes out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so the fear of bathing really isn't crazy if you go back to a point where science isn't that big.
Yeah.
So if you think of it that way, can people now say, well, it has to be more natural? I mean, how many times do people tell you shouldn't wash your hair every day?
How many people do I tell? Every
The-
person I can.
Right.
Yeah.
Because why? You say that because you know it's not healthy because you're
Mhm.
taking away so much stuff. So then
Mhm.
there's always someone who takes it too far.
Mhm.
And then that's
Yeah,
where-
and then they're like, "Oh, I haven't washed my hair in like 4 weeks."
Yeah,
I'm like,
and it's
"Well,
like-
you need to do that."
it's like crunchy and
Right. You can smell it.
yeah,
You gotta wash it like 6
mm,
times.
and still yeah.
Yeah.
And it's everybody's.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I found really amazing. There are people out there that have fear of opening one's eyes.
What do you mean?
Like
What do you
they
mean by that?
literally sit in the house in the dark and they have a fear of like keeping their eyes open too long.
In the dark?
No,
In general?
in general. So if there's 24 hours in a day, I'm being devil's advocate here. There was
Mhm.
no example, but in what I read of this thing, it's like they rather be inside in a dark room where they can kind of keep their eyes kind of slint to close because they have a fear of leaving their eyes open too long.
Hmm.
So usually
That's
those
that's
people
actually really interesting.
that is really interesting because how many like these are a group of people. This isn't just one person. Isn't just 10. These are enough people who made an impact to say this is a legit fear
Yeah.
or phobia or something like that. One of the big ones was number 8, where it's unlucky.
Well,
But there's a lot of
Well,
people who
number
like number
8
7. So if there's a lot of people saying number 7's lucky, then there has to be an unlucky number, right?
right. Well, number 8, if you're afraid of like holes and stuff like that, that's 2 circles. Those are 2 holes. Mind your business. So I can see why people are afraid of that one in a way.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
you are afraid of
number. Yeah,
what is that called? Like when you
what's up?
have afraid of holes and stuff
Oh,
like that.
are you talking about patterns and stuff?
No,
okay,
like holes.
Oh, because Shannon has that.
A pattern.
She's she can't look at like if I cut a pomegranate, she can't look at it, or if I cut like a pattern. I'm trying to think of other things. Like if I oh man, the boss, you have your phone because my phone. Go ahead, look it up. It's something with patterns. She can't look at it. It makes her stomach get all nauseous. It's like when you cut fruit, you know how it has like a certain pattern to it.
Patterns of holes or just a pattern?
It's just I think it's
or
just,
textures. Patterns and textures probably.
yeah, probably something like that. Because
Trypophobia.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like what. Yeah, because it's part of the small holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she has that.
Yeah. She can't. Okay, I can't cut things like certain
Like
things.
goosebumps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things.
That's.
Clusters of small holes, bumps, or patterns.
I'm gonna say it's usually like when you cut open something like a fruit or a vegetable.
Yeah.
Like she gets like, oh, and I'm go, really? Are you? And she's like, I can't look at that.
Yeah, but
or like if there's a design on Facebook that kind of has like a pattern to it, like a certain type of pattern, she can't look at it. Like it bothers her.
Yeah.
It's
normal. Well, it's not. Well,
it's not normal, but
no.
a lot of people have it.
It's
just
common.
It's very common. Yeah. Like a lot of stuff I have. Like I'm reading are like the rare, like some of the real rare ones. Because these are the 20. I have 21 rare things. Fear of balloons.
Hi, I have a fear of balloons.
Are you kidding me?
No, they're taking time bombed Niles.
So okay.
So am I, but.
So what are you? What? Okay. See, this is what I always get at. It's like, what are you actually afraid of? The balloon. The balloon.
The popping.
The popping. Oh, so you're afraid of the popping?
Yeah, and I don't like the sound of them, like when they rub against.
Yeah.
So like if somebody were to ever say like, can you grab balloons for this party? I would say absolutely not. Or like if I'm in a room and there's balloons around, I'm as far away as possible to that balloon.
Wow, I don't have any of that.
I can't do it.
It's just
because it's gonna pop.
I love rubbing it on my head and then putting it on something, like the static electricity, rubbing it on my head and my hair.
Yeah.
On my head.
Yep.
And sticking it to the wall.
Yeah, I can't. No, I don't like that.
Okay, I love this one. You know why I love this one? Because the actual word.
I know exactly what you're doing. Talking about.
I know. It's a fear of long words.
And it's a long word.
And it's the longest word in the dictionary. Like the actual phobia.
Right.
And I read this and I said, yeah, I'm not saying that word.
Right.
You can't pay me enough.
Right.
I don't know. I don't understand.
And there's another one where it's like you're afraid of like when the words are back and forth. Like you can read it back and forth.
This was said. This is most people who have this fear. Again, is people who have dyslexia, because then they read it backwards, or they like that's the fear of it being too long to remember. I guess for someone like that. Again, I'm not saying it's for every person, but this is one of the things it says on Google. It's not my words.
I don't have a fear of them. I just don't like them because I know I'm not going to say it ever. Like I will not be able to read it. Once there's way too many syllables in there, I'm like, sorry.
I mean, that's one of the things that I think it's hard. I mean, I guess this is kind of like my fear here. I guess is that I can't. Like, I'm not really an announcer. Like I can talk, I can prepare. I can be funny, like I can do that. When I do our lives, I can be quick, funny.
Yep.
But I could never read people's names. Like at like horse shows, they asked me if I want to be an announcer, and I was like, sat down. I was like, unless it's John Smith, and like,
right.
Like I'm
or
not.
Like I need them like sounded out. Or
right. Like
sounded.
Like, yeah. Correct. I have that fear. That's why, like, a lot of times I get very nervous when we get here because it's like, okay, I know the word, I know what I want to say, and then I get because it's like
I'm not helping,
and then you get a little fear because then it becomes what I call like the quicksand, because then it's like, okay, you didn't say it right, you know, and like, and then I've kind of learned where I don't take it so personally. I'm like, all right, I can't say it.
Yeah.
Can you say every word right? Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely
Like,
not.
no, I'm talking about like, you know, you always get those haters, and I know someone's going to write, you guys are boring. You guys don't do this right. Yeah, it's two people who try to do something we want to do, and we're here to entertain. And if you don't like it, you know, don't watch us.
Right. Oh, well.
And now this is stuck. So a fear of adolescence. So that means when you get, so it's usually you have to hit a certain age yourself to have a fear of younger people.
Of younger people?
Yeah, it's adolescence. So it's teenagers. It's, you have a fear of them. And I think it happens because we get, as human beings, I feel like we get older and we forget about our adolescence. And I always feel like the next generation goes through something 100 times differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in my day, we rode our bikes everywhere, and you always knew whose house everyone was at because you would turn around and there'd be like a pile of
Bikes.
bikes right in, and they'd be all thrown down. There was no, we all had kickstands. No one
Right.
put them up. They were just
Right.
thrown into the grass.
Yeah.
And then so you would ride around the neighborhood and be like, oh, they're at Rich's house, or they're at Keith's house, or
Yeah.
and you just go there, like
Mm-hmm.
you would do what I call I did like the swing. I call it a swing because you would swing around the neighborhood to see where everyone was at.
Yeah.
But then I think of them now, and I say to myself I don't see kids doing that. Like, I don't see kids riding bikes. I don't kids walking. I have a few kids walking down the street, but they're all in like high school kids. They're not. And I was like, in high school, walking was not like, I was getting a car and trying to go go somewhere and do something where I felt like I would say from 5th grade to 8th grade, me and my bike were like the bomb. Like, we were like one.
Did you put the card on it to make it sound like a
No,
little...
I'm not that old. No, I had a mongoose with. I remember.
What does that mean?
It was a very, very prestigious racing dirt bike at the time, but it had pegs and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, okay, pegs. Yeah, pegs were new when I like the freestyle front wheel was new when I was a kid. Like, I remember begging my parents for this bike, and I had to take care of. I had a Huffy blue crappy bike, and my parents said, "Well, if you take care of that one." And I remember riding around going, "I hate this bike," and my chain would fall off. And then one day, I had taken care of it. My parents went out and got me this, like, it was pure black with teal and white. And like I said, mongoose on it, and it had pegs, and it had like you could do tricks. Like, it had like super duper brakes where you could actually brake, and it would go up on its front. Yeah, I did it once, and I landed on my head, and I was like, "Yep, not working this one again." But there were certain things that most bikes couldn't do at the time. Yeah. But like, I think of them now, and I see kids. They don't think the way I do, or they don't see things like I do. And then I kind of sit back and say, well, is that what happens when you get to, well, I'm 40, so the next generation is going to be, so if I'm 60, do I want to deal with someone who has a complete different type of attitude? Like, like, so I see there be a fear because you're really out of touch.
Yeah.
Because what would you say? Every 4 years, there's new high school kids or new middle school kids, where adolescents seem to have a different, and I think you just become out of touch. Okay, this is it. Number 12. This is what Kelsey and I both see. Okay, so I'm just going to read this, but I don't know. Fear of belly buttons, or belly buttons being touched. Now, I want everyone to know, you cannot touch my belly button. I will literally puke. Like, but I don't have a phobia over it. It just doesn't, like, I just get like, oh God, oh, like, it doesn't feel good. Like, it feels uncomfortable.
I don't like I have a fear of like,
see,
of the weird? No, I have fear of belly buttons,
you
but
do?
I will touch somebody else's belly button.
No, I couldn't. I don't want to touch them.
No, it skeeves me out. Like, don't look at my belly button, and I don't want to look into yours.
I don't want to look. I don't want.
I can find somebody's belly button.
You touch mine, I'm all done. I'm puking every day. I can't. It makes my whole body just go like
cringe.
I get skeeves out. I get like, oh God, please don't do that again. It's like the worst feeling in the world. It's almost like I can't even just think of your worst moment. That's what it feels like. And I feel like everyone has. See, I don't really like that one because I feel like everyone has that particular spot on their body. Everybody who doesn't like it be touched. Like, I know people like, don't touch my ears. I know some people like, don't touch my feet. I know some people like, don't touch, like, they're just like that. Like,
I'm just like, don't touch me.
I've known a few people that said that to me. No, but I knew a guy who I was good friends with who would always wear, like, well, this is before water shoes, but he would always wear crappy shoes into the water, and I go, what are you wearing? And he'd be like, oh, they're my old shoes, I wear them. And I'm like, he's like, I don't like anything on my feet. I don't want sand in my, like, I don't want to feel the sand.
Is that gonna make it worse because it's gonna be trapped in there?
like I don't know, but I think it's a mental thing. Like it's a
My mom doesn't like the feeling of grass. Like she has a texture thing,
right,
where she can't like have her bare feet on the grass.
right, or something like that. Like
Yeah.
something like that. I can't. To be honest with you, I always have slippers on, socks on, or something on my feet. It doesn't mean it's always because there's moments where I'm barefoot walking around, but I wouldn't say I'm scared. I just don't feel comfortable. It's like, okay, I need something on my feet.
I'm like 95% of the time without shoes.
I think it's because
But there's certain things where I'm like, I can't touch that with my feet. No. Like
But I
going up
think-
the stairs to the second floor, I
Right.
can't do it.
I think it's the fact that like how tough are your feet? I have very soft feet. I have very soft hands because I wash dogs, so a lot of lotion. No, so I have very soft hands. So I find a lot of times that my feet are really soft too. I'm a very clammy person. So me walking on like gravel or something, it's like, yeah, it just hurts.
Yeah.
It's not even, I'm not, I need shoes. So I'm one of those type of people. At least that's how I look at that.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of those things I kind of go, everyone has something that I feel like every person I knew a girl who you couldn't touch her wrists. If you touched her wrists, she'd cry. It would be, and I would be like a belly button, you know, like it's the same thing. Oh, I love this one. Fear of string. No, we're just gonna leave that one there. I mean, I get it. Someone's got a fear of something, but it's a fear of string. I like this one. Fear of beards.
I don't have a fear of them. I just would not.
Now,
I don't like them.
do you know? Wait a minute, but I read this one. Do you know what the real fear of the beard is? Is they're afraid that you're hiding your face and there's something behind it. Like there's something under the beard that you're afraid of. Like if you don't like it, that's one thing.
Like I won't like. I have a lot of guys who are like, "Can you shape my beard?" I'm like, "No, that's." Like, I think they're just gross.
You won't even shave them?
No.
Oh, well, that's weird.
Like certain people, I will because they ask me so many times. I'm like, I guess, but I'm gonna charge you more because it really bothers me. Like I just think they're gross.
So what's the difference between the hair on the top of your head and because it's all hair? Like
I don't know. I just can't do it.
Mind you, I have a beard, so she's judging me. I can feel it. Okay, fear
No,
of
like
hair.
I start. No.
That's the next one. Fear of hair.
Kelsey has that.
She
can't take it out of the drain. She's like, what? Like she gags.
No,
she can't do it.
Yes, I know of actually a girl who would tell me all the times that she wished they invented a thing where they could just clamp her head and just dip her in there and then just wash it all off because she hated any hair on her body. Like she would say, she goes, excuse her out. Like arm hair, leg hair. Like she was like, excuse me out. I want all hair off. Like, and I was like, what about your head? And she's like, she cuts her hair real short. And she goes, be honest with you, if I could, I wouldn't have hair on my head. Like I just know I would look like a weirdo. Like everyone would think I'm a weirdo, so I don't. But she had that fear. Like she was obsessed about it. Like she would tell me all the time. I was like, oh, hey, you were late. She's like, yeah, I was in the shower. I was, and she was like, I was having a heart. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, well, I have my arms. I'm like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah. She's like, I don't want to talk about.
I know somebody who has to shave like that every day because she doesn't like it either.
Yeah, like they get obsessed with it. Like, and you're like, yeah, well, your arm, who cares?
It's
like
natural.
Like, yeah, I'm like arm, but I mean, she's like, any place there's hair on my body, I need it off.
I mean, I don't really like hair on my body, but somebody else like, I don't care. Like,
yeah,
it's your body. You can do what you want,
but these people get
like people who don't shave their legs or their underarms or whatever. Like, good for you. Like, but I personally don't want that for myself.
Right. I mean, I don't. First of all, I always think like whatever you want to do is you're going to do because there's going to be people. There are going to be people out there who likes A, and then like B. Like I know I have a lot of guy friends who love women with long hair. I like short hair. Like I'm always like, oh, that girl's so sick. Yeah, she looks like. I like that 1920 look. I swear to God, I can go through the 1920s and like pictures and be like, wow, that girl's pretty. Like with the little swoop right here, like right on like where your sideburn kind of would be, and they would have that little loop up there. I'm like, that was, I was like, that's cool. Like, I could totally date a flapper. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck in the
Shannon,
20s.
you know what you need to do.
Yeah. I've talked to her about cutting your hair. No way. Fear of clothing.
I have certain things that
oh
like
my
certain
gosh,
materials.
you really
I'm telling you right now.
These are the super rarest ones, and you have like everyone we've gone through.
You know, velvet.
You don't like velvet?
It literally like makes me cringe so much. Like the crushed velvet, like at all. Like,
wait a minute. Can you not wear it, or you just don't like it?
I can't feel it. I can't look at it. Like I don't like it. Like it
No.
makes me want to like
there's some clothes
like it gives me the shivers.
Some clothes I can't wear. Like if we talk about like, because I don't know. Way back when I was a kid, the big thing was sweaters, like the whole Cosby sweater stuff. I remember when everyone wore it like crazy. Well, you don't remember, but we went through a period, and I had like a bunch of wool sweaters, and there was one time.
Like the scratchy stuff.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant. It's so hot, but I'm just going to wear like a little t-shirt, like a t-shirt on. I was about to rip off my skin by the end of the day. And I was like, okay, I can't. Because I usually, back then, used to wear turtlenecks. So like your skin was protected from the itchiness. Yeah. And I decided to wear like a t-shirt thinking, well, this still will look good, but it's going to be hot. So I don't want to be, because big sweaters were big on like you're outside, but then when you go inside, it's like
like 600 degrees.
And then you're like, so. Yeah. And so there's some things I can't, like I can't wear those like wool like stuff like so. I don't want to say I'm afraid of, like I don't have fear of clothes, but there's some clothes I go, yeah, I can't wear without, or I don't want that touching my skin.
Yeah, I have very sensitive skin too, so like certain things, like if it's too scratchy, I can't wear it, or like I just lost my train of thought.
Like
too scratchy.
Like too scratchy. You're talking about like sensitive skin.
Yeah.
You have sensitive skin.
Or like sequins, I can't do it because I know like my arms will be chewed up. Or
right. Yeah. But that makes sense though.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really a fear. It's just practical.
Yeah, but no, velvet, that's a fear. Don't like it. Get it away from me. Just
them, we had the nylon. We had the nylon bows that we were both heavily petting that night.
Yeah.
But you weren't afraid of those. You liked the feel of that.
It's not velvet.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying you like the feel of that.
It's soft.
Right, but velvet's kind of the same thing.
No, it's not.
No, oh jeez. Okay, all right, that's fair. It's really not. Okay, I think we all have this, the fear of work. There's people who can't work. Nah, I think that's bull. Because see, I say this is bull because I don't think it's work. I think if you have a job that you absolutely can't stand, of course you hate going to work. Like
I have a fear of starting a new job.
Yeah, but that's just the anxiety of going there and going, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I always find I have the anxiety over new things because I'm afraid I'm going to mess up. It's not the fact that I'm really afraid of the job. Yeah. Is I'm afraid I'm going to mess up and then look like how stupid are you? You know, like how could you put this on this? Like I won't use a name, but I remember when I remember I had to be about 19, 20. We had a girl working at the shop with us. So we had the shampoo that was really thick. So you would have to kind of like turn it on, put it down, and kind of walk away, but keep checking it so it didn't overflow. Well, she was a new person, and she literally like went off, like didn't care about it anymore, and just started doing her own thing. Yeah. And it overflowed. So she panicked, and I was like, okay, let's just clean this up, like turn it off. She goes, I got it. And she takes a rag, and she pours like a bunch of Dawn on it. And I said, Dawn soap. And I said, why would you use soap to clean soap? Like, and she's like, what are you talking about? Like, and I'm like, stop. Yeah. Well, first of all, you don't wet the rag. Right. You use a dry rag because it's soap and you don't want to lather it up. Right. Okay. Second of all, you don't want to add more soap to it. Right. And it was like I was talking Greek to her. Yeah. I swear to God, she was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, because and you could just tell it was exactly like, oh my God, I did this. I messed up. I'm going to get in trouble. And it's like, you're not in trouble, but let's be smart because then you're going to get in trouble. Right. Like being silly and not, it's the anxiety, what I call the quicksand when you keep making mistakes and you're like, stop. Like that's why I keep talking about my fears. Like I'm always that guy, like stop, breathe. You're in a bad spot and I get it. I get overwhelmed too, but it's like, stop, breathe, because I'm only going to make this worse. Like sometimes running isn't always the best solution, you know? Yeah. Okay. Now, see, this is a question I asked Shannon because Shannon, I know it. Anytime we have to make a decision, it's always, what do you think? Why do I have to make a decision? I hate making decisions. I hate making them. But there's fears of making decisions, which I had asked her. I said, are you afraid? She goes, I'm not afraid. But I don't think it's afraid of making decisions. It's fear of picking the wrong thing, living with consequences you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I feel like it's like it's part of life.
You decide to breathe every day. Like you decide to.
Like you have to do like
yeah.
You know what? I will always say, I know I've kind of like getting off the phobia of this, but I had an old man, which I loved, really wise. I don't think he was wise. I think I was just 7, 8. And, you know, when an older man talks to you, he goes, remember one thing. One day you're a genius. The next day you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really catch on to that until later on in life. And when I turned 18, actually 17, I started really working a job, like working. I realized there was decisions I made where my employer was like, oh, you're a genius. What made you think of this? And then it was like, literally the next day I was like, oh, I'm a genius. I'm going to make this decision now.
Right.
And it's like the next day I got, you're an idiot. How would you do? And I just kind of embraced it. Like, all right, I'm going to win some. I'm going to lose some. So when I win them, I'm going to take it in. And when I lose them, I'm just going to blow it kind of off. But then trying to say, don't make that decision again.
Right.
But I think people who fear decisions are the ones who don't want to make the wrong one. They don't want to live with that, I'm an idiot. Because for me, I always took it as everybody has those moments.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be times that you played the lottery that day and you won.
Yeah.
But that was a decision you made.
Yep.
And if you didn't win, the guy in front of you, the guy behind you would have played it and he would have won.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I feel on those. Fear of mirrors. Now, this was interesting when I read this one. It's the fear that, like, that's something else. Like, the mirror is something else. Like, it's just not a mirror of you. It's kind of like it's something else, like witches type of, like it is more than just a reflection.
I always think like I don't like dressing rooms because I just think that they have a camera in them.
Oh. That makes me like dressing rooms. I'm like, if someone wants to see me, then they're worth it.
My God.
No, I'm serious. I always think if you really want to see it, then go ahead. At the end of the day, I don't know. It's kind of about. I have a weird look at life. Like, I have this like people's. I know. Like, we talked about this a couple days ago. Like, oh, like my friends are all kind of going bald. Or do you worry about it? I'm like, no, because once I start losing hair, that's less I have to cut. Like, I just don't care about that stuff. Like, because I feel like as a human being, we don't pick what we want to be. Like, you don't walk up to whatever you believe in or whatever you're born, and when right before you get born, say, okay, can I be 6 foot tall? Can I have black hair? Can I look like you don't have that choice. So you are what you are. And I just kind of like, hey, you don't like it, you don't like it. And I think I kind of got literally that way, like worse when I got older, because I felt like I'm a short guy, so I always seem to have like that tall girl that was like, you're too short. And it's like, yeah, because I asked for this. I was like, please let me be 5'6", you know, because I want all the girls to say no to me because I'm 5'6". Like, you know, it's kind of stupid. Like, if you don't like me because of that, then that's your problem. That's not a me problem. I don't know. Which my girlfriend always likes to joke and calls me pygmy. Pygmy. You ever heard her say pigs? Hey, pigs.
I heard you call it that.
Yeah, it's because I'm a pygmy because I'm so short. Because Shannon's taller than I am, so I call her Moosey because she's tall. So, okay, we got two more left, and it's okay. This was interesting, but I actually know someone who has this fear of dining with others. So eating with others. Oh my gosh! Don't tell you have this one too.
For the longest time, I didn't like eating at restaurants because I don't like people looking at me while I eat.
I knew a girl who...
And I still, like, at work, I will starve all day.
Right.
Because I don't want to eat in front of somebody.
I knew a girl who at lunchtime would have a sandwich. Now, people on the Facebook will see this. would put the sandwich right in front of her mouth, take a bite, and then hide her face as she chewed
Really?
because she didn't want anyone to see her eating. And I go, "What are you doing?" "I chew funny." "So you chew funny? Like what?"
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I ended up seeing her chew. She did not chew funny. She chewed like the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's sometimes like stuff like this. When I read it, it was like about people watching you eat or how you eat and judging you, and I kind of like.
I don't like people
That
looking at me while I eat.
But just imagine there are people out there who literally hates that. Like, I mean, they can't.
Mm-hmm.
And you're that way. You
Mhm.
can't do it.
I will not eat in front of a client unless it's like
A client,
my
yeah.
grandma or like
Well,
somebody I know.
Could you have dinner with me?
I have had dinner with you.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like you've
Yes.
like
but
if we
I
went to a
don't-
restaurant and we haven't sat down and actually eat
Yeah.
dinner, like a dinner. We've
Yeah.
had like a bowl, like you had a bowl of macaroni, and you've eaten around me, but we're
Yeah.
not eating at a dinner, like a proper sit down
Mhm.
dinner.
Yeah. I just like have anxiety the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kelsey, like I told Kelsey,
what do you
like,
think? What do you think is happening? I'm not judging at all. I'm asking.
Well, mine's more because I've always been like a bigger kid and stuff. So
Right.
like if I'm eating like food that like isn't good for you or whatever.
So you think
Then-
everyone's judging what you eat and how you eat?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, screw that. Everyone, I'm like, I'll eat a whole prime rib in front of somebody, and they're like, "Dude,
Yeah.
you're fat," and I'd be like, "Hell right, I am. Give
Mhm.
me another one." I don't really care what.
And I
it
don't
is.
like eating in front of like people who have like good eating habits too.
You know what? I have to admit one thing. I don't like eating on a date. Like I always feel like, how can I eat and talk to this person?
Mm-hmm.
Because two things happen. I eat the whole dinner and I don't say 3 words to her. Or I talk
Yeah.
the whole dinner and I don't eat anything and I got to go home after the date and eat the dinner
Mm-hmm.
because I'm starving.
Mm-hmm.
So I always feel like as much as everyone goes, "Oh, take her out to dinner," I'm like,
Rather not.
I'd rather not because it never
Yeah.
works out that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, and then you got to watch what you buy.
Right.
And it's the worst thing is when you meet that person that's like, "Oh, can I have a salad?" You're like, "Is that what you eat?"
Mhm.
Because I'm not going with the salad here.
Yeah.
Like we came here, I'm going to eat like I haven't eaten in 3 days.
Like, I'm gonna go all out tonight.
I do. I
We're
used
gonna
to,
get 6 appetizers.
this,
4
I used to have a
entrees.
rule of thumb on dates. I always took them someplace that I like to eat for the fact that at least I got a good I got a good meal out of
Nice.
it. And then I always got like this ridiculous dinner, like like this king dinner.
Mhm.
Like like prime rib, 2 mashed potatoes, bread, and she'd be looking at me and be like, "Oh, this is great."
I also like eat like a bird sometimes, so like I can eat 3 bites, be like, yeah, I'm full.
Yeah,
Like
I can.
ask Kelsey. Like I'm more of a snacker.
Are you a
I'll eat
snacker?
small meals all day.
No, man, I'm a
Yeah.
feaster. I feast.
Mm-mm.
I could eat real meals every day. Now I know you're gonna look like, what real meal? Like I can have prime rib in the morning. I could have like chicken in the morning. I can have anything I had left over from the night for dinner. I can have Pizza Hut.
Yes, for breakfast.
Yes.
Yes, cold.
cold,
You can't eat
pizza.
that warm.
No, Pizza
No,
Hut
that's
you
gotta
just
be
buy
cold.
and
Yep.
you eat. Actually, I eat it no matter what. All right, this is the last one.
Oh, what did Kelsey say? Hi, Kelsey.
Hey, Kelsey.
Definitely
a snacker.
Oh yeah,
I believe Miss Kelsey is. I've seen her snack quite a bit.
yeah. But she'll also eat like she'll order like the biggest.
Like
meal
she's like
possibly
me.
could, or,
She
like-
has like a feast. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's a
And I'm
feaster.
like, oh my god, how do you eat all that?
Look, if you go to my house, there's no snacks in my house. Every time, and that's the biggest thing in my
And
house.
then you look at my house, you're like, oh my god, another snack.
Like
I have like no real food.
that's the
Just like-
opposite. See, I go to my house and like there, like you open my freezer and it's like hot wings, hamburgers, and like you. And Kelsey says I'm an eater for sure. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like there's meals. Like there's like okay, we're gonna cook out a meal. Like you know what I mean.
Mhm.
There's like steak. There's something we can make. Whatever it is, chicken.
Mhm.
But then when you go in my refrigerator, it's like, oh, I want something to eat. There's nothing in my house.
Yeah.
Like there's like Shannon always like, oh, what do we have to eat to snack on? And I'm like, frozen burgers.
I have some ice.
Yeah. Chew some ice.
Right.
Like
I
I
might have chips from like 6 years ago.
like I'm not a chip eater. Like
Yeah.
I can eat chips with
Are
my
you-
dinner.
Are you dessert or
No.
salty? No? No dessert.
I do eat dessert because Shannon eats dessert, but
Mhm.
in real life, I'm the guy who eats
Just the meal.
the meal and then can't eat for the next 3 days. Like I need
Mhm.
to go hibernate for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Like because I feast like that.
Did you know hibernation? Like you don't actually sleep for that long.
No, you don't. They wake up
Yeah. Why weren't we taught that?
because
Why were we taught that they just eat 600 meals at once, and then they just go to bed for the rest of the summer, and then they wake up?
in winter, not summer.
Yeah.
Hibernate for the winter. Yes.
Yeah. But they wake up in summer.
I
Why
don't.
were
I
we
don't know.
taught that?
Because usually they wake up, do a few things, and then go back to sleep. Because I kind of don't really. They don't go outside to go look for more food. They kind of just
And
kind
I
of
get that, but they made it seem like they don't ever
Wake
like
up.
they're asleep for like 6 months.
Yeah, but they do sleep for like weeks and times and months at times. Sometimes they can sleep for like a month.
I just think it needs to be shared a little bit more clearer because I'm 22 years old and I found that out this year.
No, but I'm a meal person.
I think I have an eating disorder.
Oh, I have
I'm
an eating
gonna
disorder.
I'm gonna-
I'll tell you right now. Do you know what about a meal that I like?
What?
Is the taste. I keep telling everyone all the time, if they can come out with that stupid Willy Wonka gum that has like the meal and
yeah.
I would be 125 pounds because I would just chew gum all day because I eat food.
Do you get the calories with that?
No, it
Do you
would
get
just
protein? Or it's just
no,
flavor
it would
like
just
that?
be flavor. I eat for flavor, not for
Food.
for
Like-
substance.
Mhm.
Like I can have. I mean, I go back to the primer because it's my favorite thing in the world. Like I could sit there and I'll be like, they're like, Nas, you want another one? I'm like, you are most certainly a snacker. I don't know.
Hi, Ian.
Ian's comes at the end.
Oh, tell me your
Again.
worst fears, Ian. Anyone else
What
want
do
to
you
share
mean
their
I'm
fears?
a snacker? I'm not really a snacker. Well, see, I think better late than never. Sorry, guys.
That's
was
okay,
Ian.
Ian.
That's all right, Ian.
We still love you.
I just don't. I do snack. I'm not gonna say I don't ever snack. 'Cause I like popcorn.
Mhm.
That's a big thing. I love popcorn. I love pistachio nuts. Oh my gosh, I can go a pound and just sitting there in
I
a
don't
minute.
like any nuts
Okay.
unless it's peanut butter or like almond butter. Like I like the butters of this.
Almonds butter. No, I eat almonds though with sriracha on it. You know those flavored ones.
Maeve really likes
we could
my
eat those.
niece
Yeah.
really loves the wasabi almonds. She's 3.
Wasabi. Yeah, I think that's the one I have. The wasabi and
wasabi.
soy sauce. Isn't it like and soy? I popped those down. Woo! You can breathe for like 3 days straight. All right, for our last fear that we have is fear of phobias. It is a legit thing.
Mhm.
It's people afraid of people who have fears.
Mm-hmm.
Claustrophobic. Used to be have
Fear of heights. Yeah, same.
I did tell a story in the very beginning, Ian, about me being caught into something, but again, I could feel the panic, like I couldn't move, and I could feel and then I kind of took a deep breath and kind of pushed my way out of it. But again, it's I don't know. I just have this thing in my brain that I can shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very stubborn like that. Like I'm very competitive too. We talked about gym, and I'm like, I can't go to gym unless somebody else is there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, why not? Because if Joe is walking a mile, then I'll walk 2 miles.
Yeah.
Like I just have that in me.
See,
But
I
if it's
can't-
like, Niles, do you want to walk a mile? I'm like, no, I don't want to walk a mile. They're like, well, Joe walked 2, then I'm walking 3. Like it's just, I don't know what's in me.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want
You're
to do it.
competitive.
Like I don't want to do it for myself, but I'll do it to kind of prove a point.
Mm-hmm.
Even
I
to
don't
a
like
point.
going to the gym by myself because there was one time I went by myself and some creepy guy was like, "Oh, your form's wrong," and like followed me around the gym. I was like, "Yeah, I gotta go." It was in Fall River. It was a little sketch, but I also have a fear of like if I come home too late.
It's funny. I had the same story. A guy told me my form was wrong too.
Yeah, I walk like when I walk in from the house. If I'm outside by myself,
Yeah.
I run into the house because I'm afraid that somebody's gonna like kill me or snatch me up or something like that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. No matter what, like I look around and if my keys are in the position to open the door.
No, I'm
That's
gonna
also the thing.
admit something. I don't like walking down. Like I have been in my life down, like I want to say alley, but you know, like certain roads that I know I shouldn't be down. Like it's like, oh, this is the worst place to be. And this is why I always tell people, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're tan. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if there's 3 of you and I'm in a dark alley by myself. I automatically think the worst. Like I don't care. Like I don't care if it's grandmas, like a bunch of old women. I stop and say, I'm in an area that is in a bad area. No one can see me. It's dark. There's no lights. There's, you know, what have you. Like, this is not a place I want to be. And people are like, oh, well, what about this? Or what about that? No, I don't care what it is. It's going to be 3 dogs walking down and I'm going to get eaten up alive. Like, it's just the whole scenario that I'm not, like, this is the worst place I could be right now. That's what scares me.
Yeah.
It's actually sometimes really not the people that scare me. It's the fact that I'm in a spot that I can't get out of, and there's 3, 2, it can be just one person, and this could go wrong for me.
Right.
And people go, well, how would you be scared of old people? I'm like, this old lady could have a gun. This old lady could be not seeing me very clearly and thinking I'm going to do something bad to them, and then something bad happens because the ball starts going because we're both down a dark alley. I know that's always been a debate. Like, oh, well, are you this? Are you that? Because of that. Like, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's 3. If I see 3 cats actually like line up and no, I'm saying like line up and keep walking, I'm going, okay, this is odd. I'm out of here. Like, I'm scared. Yeah. Like, why are these 3 cats? 3 dogs, 2 dogs. You know, like, why are they lining up? Like, why are they, becoming a V shape coming towards me? I have that phobia, but I don't know if that's a phobia or an actual like logical, like, yeah, it's a dark alley. No one feels good. Like, I just think there's certain situations that you put yourself in, no matter who you are.
Going back to the whole, like, if I'm home alone thing. Yeah. You know how I said, I mentioned that I set my alarm and everything. Right. I also hide in my room because I think people are looking in my windows.
Well, clearly we've had that guy walking.
But like, if I need to grab something at night or feed the cats or something, I sprint in there and sprint back.
But you don't close. You don't really close your shades.
I don't close the shades. No, because they don't close anyways.
Oh, okay. I got.
They're still open because they're broken.
Right. But you haven't thought of like just closing it so you don't have to see people.
No, because if the light's on, I can't see out.
Oh, I see. I got you.
You know what I mean?
Oh. I don't get that way. I think if you're at my window and you're looking in my window, you're doing some work. So you deserve to see whatever. I don't know why you want to see whatever you want to see, but go ahead, see it. I mean, because I know.
Well, that guy certainly wants something.
I know. He was checking me out. I don't know because he kept staring in. Because for some reason I was standing in the front, so he kept seeing me more than he could see you.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, it's exactly. Ian says, or in a car, lock up.
Oh yeah, I like run to my car and lock it as soon as I get inside. Really? Daylight, nighttime.
I do look at my backseat when I had the like
the van.
The van, or when I had the Honda. I can't think. The pilot. Yeah. I always get in the car and I always look in my backseat.
You get in the car before you look in your backseat?
Well, I'm opening the door and I'm kind of looking, so I'm kind of in and out, I guess.
I only unlock my door.
Oh yeah.
I don't unlock that. Like I don't double.
See again.
So half the time people are trying to get in my car. Like a friend will get in my car and they're like, you didn't unlock. I'm like, oh sorry, I'm used to just being by myself.
Again, it's one of those things is. I think it's a theory that I have is that I'm not afraid to die. I just don't want to die. Yeah. But I'm not afraid to die. So it's like I kind of walk.
100%.
I kind of walk into life like, hey, if you're doing the work behind, like if you're sitting behind in my car hiding, like in the very back seat, you're doing your work. And then like it was meant to be. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just have this thing where, you can lock your windows, you can lock your stuff, you can do whatever. But if the guy or girl really wants to do whatever they're going to do, they're going to do it. Yeah. Because they can break through that easily. And once they break through it, there's only so much you can do. Like, Like my front door, they can easily smash through my front door. I
Mhm.
mean, because of the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it going to be easy? No. But if they take the time and work, and I also know that if whatever happening, I'm not going down. I'm swinging. I'm going down with the fight. So
Yeah.
the phobia becomes changed because I don't really. I'm not scared because
Yeah.
I kind of go. It's like if you're taking the time, I do. There are times that I'll come home, and I don't know. There's times that I know, like I'll walk through the front door and I know I'm home. I'm like, I'm home. Anybody here? If you're gonna kill me now.
Yeah.
Like let's get this over with. Like don't wait till I'm nice and relaxed. Like I'm
Mhm.
like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm like chop chop. We're on a schedule
Right.
here. Like I don't want to deal with this.
Kelsey went to the bar down the street from
Yep.
us the other night, and she wanted to walk down at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, no, you need to drive down, because what if somebody like kills you on the way?
Yeah, I can't do that.
And
Like
she
I
was like,
admit
no,
can't
I
do
can
it.
just walk down. She ended up driving because there's parking down there, but she's like, I'm not going down there on a Friday night. It's gonna be super packed, and when I could just walk, blah blah blah. I'm like,
I admit.
yeah,
that.
but it's nighttime, and maybe we should get in a car.
I have to say that. I mean, there's some things I don't do. Like,
Yeah.
I remember some things in my life where you're going to kind of a sketchy place. I don't
Mhm.
remember like skipping down, screaming, "Hey, I have $500 in my pocket."
Yeah.
Yeah, I drive or I walk. I don't remember kind of. I just remember being kind of smart about things. Just kind of like, yeah, I probably would have drive. Or if I was walking with someone.
Right.
Like I would
if she
walk with
walked
someone.
down with
Right.
somebody,
Yeah.
that's fine, because
Like
at least
if like
there's,
let's say a neighbor or a friend or
Right.
someone's like, hey, what are you doing? Nothing. Hey,
Right.
I'm going down here. Do you want to? Yeah, I'll walk with you.
Right.
Like I got nothing
Right.
to do. Okay, then.
But
that's
she
cool.
was going by herself, and that didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, but that's like I think that's that whole thing of like. I don't care who you are. Again, I don't care who you are. Like I know a lot of people like, well, I'm a girl, so I don't walk. Da, da, da. I'm like, I don't care who you are. Like I'm a guy, and
Mhm.
it's like I wouldn't be walking alone unless I had to. Like
Right.
my car broke down, I have to walk.
Mhm.
Like I get that.
Yeah.
Like we talked about the phone. Do you have fear about not having your phone? No, but I have a fear of driving somewhere and it breaks down, and then I have to walk on the highway somewhere. Like
Right.
that's like.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a phobia, but it's a
Mhm.
fear of reality.
Right. I just got over, like I walk by myself now,
Right.
like in the morning,
Right.
like in my neighborhood. I
Right.
just got over that.
But
fear.
you have a lot of people walking here.
Yeah, and that's why
So-
I got more comfortable. Whereas
Right.
like if I was still at my parents' house, I would never do that. Not that it's not a safe
No,
neighborhood,
I know. Yeah, I know.
but like I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. No, I see that. Again, it's about being smart. I don't think it's A or B or C.
Yeah.
It's just about being smart. It's about like don't put yourself in these situations.
Yeah.
You put yourself in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are just my opinions on things. I know other people will argue and tell me I'm wrong and I should do whatever, and that's fine. But for me, I try not to let fear really control my life. I know it does
Mm-hmm.
to some extent, but I don't have fears. And maybe this should be something else we talk about, but I do have like crazy rules in my life. That's what I have a lot of. Like, I can't do this unless I do this or this. I can't do, like, I'll pull in with the car a certain way and I'll be like, oh, now I'm facing the wrong way. And it's like, well, just turn around. It's like, well, if I had pulled in this way, I wouldn't have to turn around.
Mhm.
Like I have these things where I try to make my life even harder, easier than being
Right.
harder.
Yeah.
Like I'm real psycho. I'm psycho about that. So
Mhm.
I don't know if there's like I'll drive a way where I can catch all the lights instead of trying to go on a highway.
Yeah.
Like I'll hit all the lights
Yeah.
so I don't have to try to get across traffic on a 4-lane road. And they're like, "Oh, we'll just sit there and be patient." I'm like, "Yeah, no,
Right.
yeah.
Patience is out the window.
Yeah, that ain't happening."
Yeah. Kelsey has a fear of other people driving in the car. Like she can't do it. Like, not that she can't, but she just would rather be in control because she's been in car accidents and she also gets car sick. But she doesn't like. If she can control one car, then she can control one car.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
get that totally. I totally feel like that can easily. My dad can't sit a certain way in a car like in a limo because of. Like he
Car
has to
sick.
be sitting forward.
Yeah.
He has to kind of have control. I like to be in control too. I mean, I like to drive, but I gotta
I'd
be
much
honest.
rather anyone else drive but me.
Me sometimes I get that way. I was like, oh, I wish someone else drove me around. And then when I drive, then that happens. You know what happens is then I get like, okay, I don't like this because I've had friends leave me.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about when you drive, no one can leave you.
Right.
So it's a weird. Like I don't know if that's
or like
a phobia.
if you want to stay and they want to leave,
Right. Like
yeah.
I always seem to be that like I like that. Like, hey, we got to go. Because
Mhm.
when I depend on somebody else, I've been like, hey, I forgot about you. I forgot you came with us. What?
Right.
How did you forget about me?
Yeah.
I've been stuck in Providence
Really?
at a nightclub. Someone left. My buddy left, and he's like, I forgot you came. I'm like, thanks. I feel loved right now. And then after
I've been next to you all night, but thanks.
well, no, because sometimes
Yeah.
you would split up. But
Right.
there was a period of time where I literally would after that, I drove all the time.
Yeah.
I was always the driver. And I hate driving in Providence. I would be like, oh, God, I hate this. But
Yeah.
it was better than being left alone.
Yeah.
Left, behind.
All right.
All right. Well, this is it.
Wrap
We were
this
going
up.
way past our time
Yeah.
usually. So I want to thank everyone on the Goofy Geek page. We're live every Sunday at 6 o'clock. And we're on YouTube. This podcast will be just posted.
The audio version.
The audio version. So if you want to go look for us, we're the Goofy Geek Podcast on YouTube, and that's usually on Tuesdays. So if you, we have one tomorrow.
we
though.
have a bonus one.
Yeah, so
technically, because we had Thursday.
Yeah,
and
we
I
did Thursday.
Just
'cause
haven't had a chance to post it.
Right. So
It's
as
going
soon
up
as
tomorrow, and then you'll have one on Tuesday.
so you have one tomorrow and Tuesday, and
Love you too, Ian.
Ian, we will see you next time. Hopefully, you can catch us at 6 so we can really get into. I appreciate everyone who commented.
Leave
and
us some suggestions down below.
Yeah.
Topics.
Yeah, we don't have a topic for next week.
No, we'll have to think about it.
We're gonna have to come up with something. But we will catch you all next Sunday or next Tuesday. Depends how you listen to us.
Mhm.
Thank you, everyone on the Goofy Geek page again, and have yourself a great day.
Bye.
Bye, guys.